Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansa Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Bande Jagadgurum. Om. Adorations to Lord Krishna, the preceptor of the universe, destroyer of the forces of darkness, bestower of immortality. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, in chapter 18, which is the last chapter, known as Moksha Sannyasa Yoga, the yoga of renunciation and liberation. That's the conclusion of the teachings of the Gita. The theme of this chapter is how to assimilate, bring that teaching in your life. 4 classes of such human beings have been described as 4 Varnas, 4 castes, but I have given you subtler meaning. It's not ordinary caste system, it's totally different. Everyone is a blend of 4 castes. When you begin to think, work with spiritual understanding, who am I? Recite Vedic mantras, you are a Brahmin priest. And when you put things in order, tell people around you how to harmonize and create a loving rule over people, you are a Kshatriya. And when you teach people how to give greater value to your qualities, virtuous qualities, and not to just green dollars, become a Vaishya. And when you develop the feeling of loving God and serving God in everybody with humility, you become a Shudra. All the 4 are within you. Whichever one you can highlight in your mind, I'm a Brahmana, I'm a Kshatriya, whoever. But all the 4 are there. You cannot separate them. Just like 4 yogas are always there in every individual. Action aspect within you requires Karma Yoga. Feeling aspect, Bhakti Yoga. Willing aspect, Dhyana Yoga. And understanding, Jnana Yoga. Which type of yogi do you want to be? Just be a yogi. All these 4 are interrelated aspects. In your personality, which one do you choose? The feet, the hands, the neck, the head, the heart, all are together. So don't work hard by choosing which one is better. That's in 45th verse. Sve sve karmanya bhirta sansiddhim labhate nara swakarma niratah siddhim yatha vindati tat shrinu. Men performing their own duties with devotion attain spiritual perfection. Hear from me the manner in which a person attains spiritual perfection while performing one's duty. Sve se karmanya nirata. Be all involved in your Swadharma. Swadharma, that type of activity, that type of karma that has developed in your personality in a natural way. It's like a river flows and it comes by your back door in a natural way. Also understand the deeper meaning behind it. You are not born with a kind of clean slate that everything you have to begin. You have been through many lives. So, certain circumstances, certain situations, they come with you. As you are born, you have a type of mother, you have a type of father, you have family set up. You have no choice, having later discovered that I shouldn't have been born there. I should have had a better mummy. That will be unnecessary. Then you are doubting divine intelligence. God placed you, and therefore wherever you are placed, that's the best for you, and move forward. Following the similar logic, certain type of job, certain activity comes natural to you. Sometimes it may not seem natural. You apply for a job, didn't expect to get a particular type of job, but you get it. My interpretation of natural applies even there. Because the entire nature works under God's control. So, whatsoever job you are involved in, consider it is God's given opportunity for your spiritual evolution. And do not stay in a state of conflict, that if I had another type of job, I would advance spiritually faster. This type of job will let me stay dull. Do not create that, because that's an obstruction. Again, another aspect, to the extent it is possible for you to choose between jobs, choose that job which you can handle with dexterity and joy. Don't choose that job that will require every moment looking into Google. I'm joking, but just to understand. So as long as there is a choice, choose that which harmonizes with your heart. Say, for example, when you teach people, share certain knowledge, and if it delights you, teaching job is Swadharma for you. Suddenly you find that the money that you expected will not come, $10 less. I'm joking, but it is Swadharma. It doesn't matter. Even if no money comes, you will still invite your students and give classes or whatever. That's called Swadharma. Swadharma is delightful. Now, another aspect in Swadharma, always understand three gunas, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. The ideal before you is to do sattvic type of swadharma. Whatever duty you are doing, if do not involve in that duty any type of hypocrisy, deception, and the type of work you are doing, if it is going to hurt someone, in other words, avoid rajasic, tamasic karmas. Tamasic karmas are giving injury to others. Rajasic karmas, building up your mind in a very distracted manner, without substance, without fulfillment. Sattvic karma, it's just like you have sown a mango tree, and all that you have done to the growing process of the tree, everything has been purposeful. Because one day the mango will blossom and will show you and thank you for that. Another day mango will fall right on your head. Give you greater thrill. So purposeful activity. Now, having taken to purposeful activity, again comes two choices. One is stay with your ego. How great am I? Or how great am I that God has allowed me to do this sattvic? In other words, develop humility. Pride in humility, not pride in stupidity. So when you have developed that, your Swadharma has become Karma Yoga, Niskamya Karma Yoga. You will get the fruit of the karma in a wonderful way, but no matter what the fruit comes in the world of time and space, all that fruit of karma is perishable. You will be getting something that is not perishable. The moment you turn your karma into karma yoga, you will be allowing your heart to be free of pressure of mental complexes, impurities. To have that type of a heart is a profound inner joy. And that opens the door to what Gita has talked about, Uttarayana, northern path, implying progressive movement towards liberation, enlightenment. Just to remind you, Agnir Jyotiraha Shukla Sanamasha Uttarayanam. First stage, Agni, fire. Fire represents to develop vairagya, dispassion. So humidity will not catch you. The world is full of moha. And moha or infatuation type of or attachment type of relationship is kind of humidity. But you become fire. Vairagya develops within you. Agni, Jyoti, Vivek begins to develop. Your intellect carries a torch, a divine insight, so that your life is not moving in darkness. You have an understanding of right and wrong, pleasant and what is good. Aha term, you begin to apply your vairagya and viveka in daily life. Your daily life becomes a form of sublimating negative, sublimating your vices, and as they are sublimated, positive qualities begin to develop. And that's a day-to-day job. And God has given you a lot of opportunity. You don't get all the virtues in one day, you have other days. I'm joking. God has given opportunity for abhyasa, repeated effort. When you've gone through these three stages, Agni, Jyoti, Raha, Shukla, bright half of the month, as the moon goes on waxing. That's a highly poetic way of describing spiritual progress. That relates to bhavana, feeling within you, the joy that comes in your heart when impurities are moving away. The joy begins to develop just like the moon waxing, becoming bigger and bigger. And this leads to something totally unexpected, beyond imagination. Expansion in your consciousness. How expansive can you be? That depends. That again is a progressive movement. Symbolized by increasing daylight with the northern course of the earth, as the earth moves, or the Uttarayana, northern journey. Every day, succeeding day has more duration of light. That's allegorically. As you move, there is increasing expansion in your consciousness until consciousness expands to infinity. Soul as if merges in the sun, with the sun. Sansiddhim labhate. If your movement follows this sequence and you become increasingly free of impurities, mind becomes free of mala, nirmal. I call it normal. As you gain more and more mystic normality, then there develops a most normal aspiration. Why do you live? To attain liberation. That's most normal. Attaining the goal, that's called sansiddhim, the highest perfection. And Lord Krishna says, listen, how can a person, being devoted to his Swadharma, how can he attain the highest level? What are the stages? Yataha pravrittih bhutanam yena sarvamidam tatam swakarmana tamavyarcha siddhim vindati manavaha. 46th verse. From whom all these beings receive inspiration, and by whom all this is pervaded. By adoring him through the performance of one's duty, one attains perfection. All these are highly condensed teachings. So you take up every sentence, you have to chew it well. You have to digest it. Yataha pravrittih bhutanam. Krishna says, look at how all living beings are receiving a inspiration to live. What is the source of that inspiration? What inspires a little hatchling to hatch up and fly? What inspires peacock to spread its wings? I'm just giving few illustrations. What is inspiring every little seed, every bud to blossom, every tree to glisten with shining leaves? What is inspiring it? All these the jivas, every little creature is busy and has been equipped with amazing faculties. Even a spider. Strange little feet. But the feet of the spider amazes even big artists. The web. Without many resources, just anywhere. You clean up everything and overnight it has created a web. So that inspiration, boundless source of inspiration, comes from God. So what you are being led to understand, allow bhakti to enter your heart. Love for God. If that has entered, then all your sadhana will come to success in a profound way. If love of God has not come, then the load of worries go on developing in your unconscious. Which God I should have worshipped? What error did I make in my prayer? Did my mala was defective? But when devotion enters, you follow your sadhana, but you do not stay in contradiction with your sadhana. You don't keep your mind constantly evaluating. Have I made God angry with me? Or so forth. I'm just trying to give you some idea. With bhakti, your mind relaxes. You are in the arms of the Mother, Divine Mother, with boundless affection. So from whom all these beings receive inspiration, by whom all this is pervaded, that divine support is ever present in every individual. That's why the term antaryami is used. God dwells within your heart and is your inner ruler. God dwells in every thing of this world, dwells within the sun. The sun may not know it, but that God is the all-permeating reality. And there is you have to understand in a very profound way, there isn't a particle in the world which is not indwelt by God. There isn't a drop in the ocean which is not indwelt by the ocean. By adoring Him, bring the spirit of adoration in all your activities, not just confined to the time when you do mala and japa. There is a scriptural prayer, kayena vacha manasendriyarva buddhyatmana va prakriti swabhavat karomi yad yat sakalam parasmai narayanayeti samarpayami. Whatever action you do, by action most people think what you do by your hand. Kayena, yes, whatever you do by your body, vacha, by your words, manasendriyarva, through your mind and through other senses, all that you do, consider they are form of worship of God. Because God is the indwelling presence, the permeating reality behind all that you experience. Whatsoever I do through vacha, manasa, vacha, karmana, mind, speech, action, all I dedicate it to Lord Narayana, to God. With that spirit, one must live. If you follow that, allow bhakti to enter, you will attain siddhi, that means perfected state, in a spontaneous manner. Shreyan swadharmo vigunaha paradharmat swanushthitat swabhavaniyatam karma kurvannapnoti kilvisham. Better to perform one's own duty, though apparently devoid of merit, than another's duty well performed. When a person studies scriptures intellectually, then you are easy to see defects in the works that you do. And when you see others doing, you don't see their defects. I'm giving you a broader meaning. First statement, first literal translation or first statement of the Gita in this, that even though you find your duty involves some negative factor and it is not perfect, still you must pursue your own duty. But what I'm leading you to understand, that when you begin to compare yourself, my duty is not so good as his duty. First you must realize you are not expert to know which one is really good. So therefore, another point to understand, every work that you do is a process of growing up, moving away from limited state to a broader expansion. So no matter where you are, there will be certain limitations around you. And as you pursue your karma correctly, those limitations will break away automatically. Simple illustration which Gita will give you later. Old style, burning a candle. As you burn, smell something smoky coming from the candle or from your matchstick. You say, if you were to develop the, I am so perfect, I don't want any smoke, I just want the light. Likewise, every project has bit of smoke, bit of challenge. And you have to face the challenge in order to see the light flashing better. If you don't handle the challenge, then the light that is to come, you are avoiding that opportunity of having that light. Adversity, well handled, allows you to emerge stronger than before. Poetically described, each time moon emerges out of the dark cloud, shines brighter. Each time you emerge out of a difficult situation, perplexing situation, you find that you have discovered some higher hand behind you. You have not been just a desolate person left to yourself, but you are always attended on by the 1,000 hands, arms of the Divine Mother, not one arm. Because by performing duties in accordance with one's inborn nature, one does not incur sin. This literal translation, which Sanskrit is Swabhavaniyatam karma kurvannapnoti kilvisham. If you follow nature-prompted movement led by on the path of Swadharma, and Swadharma, that karma becomes Karma Yoga. Karmas that create karmic bondage for everyone. Now your karmas are creating purity of heart. Kilvisham. Kilvisham term is free of poison. Also, I'm trying to remind you of Kilvish term and klesha are close together. Free of kleshas. Kleshas are ignorance, egoism, attachment, hatred, fear of death. These envenom your mind day and night, these kleshas. As long as they dominate your mind is like full of poisonous substance. But Karma Yoga makes you kilvisham, negates these kleshas. And this is a profound teaching and very practical teaching. People who are just thousands of people facing their life like a desert without any purpose because they want job and they don't have it. They can't figure out they could do something, whatsoever is possible, and letting their life busy with activity, whatsoever, in whatever field. A life with a purposeful activity allows your mind not to become degraded. Otherwise, you are losing balance of mind. And mind is getting into a terrible situation. Mental affliction is worse than physical affliction. Sahajam karma kaunteya sadosham api natyajet sarvarambha hi doshena dhumena agni rivarvrita. O son of Kunti, that means Arjuna, one should not abandon his natural duty. What I have been describing, your Swadharma, natural duty, Swadharma. Work doing you do with the spirit of worshipping God. And you find delight in doing it. It is fulfilling to you. Your day is not wasted. That type of understanding and mystic art has entered your life. Then the statement is that process you should never abandon, though it has imperfections. In every stage you are in the process of growing. So imperfections that you meet, they will be corrected as you grow. But in the very beginning you want to be free of all imperfections, that will not be possible. You may get perfect job, absolutely perfect, tables, chairs, and buildings, the most advanced technology, perfect. But if you are not deserving that perfection, all that will not be of any help. You will create a chaos just by pushing your fingers in the wrong direction. All actions are attended with defects, because this is a relative world. There is always some imperfection. Perfection is not in the world of relativity. Even as fire is with smoke. Asakta buddhi sarvatra jitatma vigata spriha naishkarmya siddhim paramam sannyasenadhi gacchati. He who possesses an intellect that is detached in every way, who has controlled his mind and is free from all desires, he attains perfection through renunciation. Now, digest it, each point. He who possesses an intellect that is detached in every way, intellect that has come to understand that all this is Brahman. Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. All you experience through your senses. What's the source behind all your experiences? Do the senses bring the right experience? They don't. I don't go into details. And they are inspired by the mind. Your mind is not there, your senses can move on, and you will not have any experience. And whatsoever mind does is evaluated and embellished by your intellect. So in intellect level, you do not have all experience. What I am leading you to understand, the source of all your experience is the self. Just like the source of all illuminations upon the earth is the sun. That intellect that has come to understand that if you possess that type of intellect, all is loved for the sake of the self. Atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. Your intellect must understand that. Objects are not loved for themselves. They are all transient attainments. All is loved. From life to life, all that you have loved is for the sake of attaining God realization. God, when you attain God, this urge to love attains absolute fulfillment. Because all things of this world that you love, they are God expressing through Maya. All that you love in your dream, suppose you have a wonderful dream, and everything is lovable. Lot of money in the bank, lot of wonderful building, wonderful pets around you, singing. And in your dream world, you've gone viral. All that you are loving in your dream world moves away. It is you, in your own consciousness. Who am I? The deep down, that real self in you. That's God Himself. And it is for the sake of loving the self that you are led by karma to love so many things in order to grow, in order to advance. But nothing that you love can stay firm, secure. The only thing security in the process of love is your innermost self. which is God Himself. So if intellect begins to understand that, that's what the real purpose of life is. Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Moksha is the real purpose. And for that, you take up the project of controlling the mind, controlling the senses by the mind, controlling the mind by your intellect, allowing the intellect to be controlled by devotion to God. And in this process, your mind is not holding on to any illusion that I will give up all this world, but not that particular object. No, all desires. Want to wake up from the dream, then you can't hold on to anything of the dream. So this movement, which has first stage, bringing the spirit of worshipping God in your personality. Second aspect, developing increasing detachment from the world. Third point, developing mastery over mind and senses. Is followed by shedding the darkness, the dark forces of malas, gross impurities, and silencing the vikshepa, the distractions of the mind. If this movement goes on, the goal is yours: immortality, absolute bliss, God realization, nirvana, moksha, kingdom of heaven. And I will leave you at this stage. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.